Hello, welcome to the CoffeePodChannel. Today is the day we are going to be reviewing this. This is the Ninja Prestige Dualbrew system. I think it's fairly new from Ninja. I did an unboxing a couple of weeks ago, so I've had the machine about 2 or 3 weeks now, and I've got loads to talk about. I've got some really good stuff. I've got a couple of bad things. I'm just going to talk about in general how to use it and what you can do with this, and why I think this is possibly one of the best coffee machines, certainly Nespresso and drip coffee machines I've had. Right, okay, so loads to talk about. I've got a massive list to get through. Please like, subscribe and share. And as we get on, talk about this fantastic machine. Right, let's get down to it. All right, here it is then, my Ninja Prestige Dualbrew system. I'm going to split this video up into 3 parts, really. The first part is going to be like the overall stuff, like the clock and the bits and bobs I'm going to talk about. And then the second part I'm going to talk about is the Nespresso side. And then the third part, we're going to be doing the carafe side or the drip coffee side. And we'll make a coffee out of both of them, okay? So throughout this, I'm going to talk about the good and bad, and I'll throw you in some tips as well as we go along with it. Right, so where's my extensive list? Let's talk about then. The first thing you're going to want to talk about this is the price. This cost me £250, and then obviously in the Black Friday sale, they've dropped it. So if you can get this for about £220 now. For me, that's an absolute bargain for what you're getting for this machine. Even at £250, I think this is worth it. I'm probably going to compare it to my last machine, but I'm also going to be compared to other machines I've had as well, but mainly my last one. And that one cost $220, I think, and it was literally just an espresso, nothing else. So this at $250 or $220, if you can get it, I'd say it was a bargain. Right, next thing I want to talk about is the size as well. I said in the review, I really like the size. It was nice and thin. You know, with just this, it was like 25 centimeters. That's great. Yeah, since I've been using it, for you, it might not be that thin, okay? Because on the side, which we're going to talk about later, we have a steaming wand, okay? That pops out the side. Now, if you're going to want to use this, it suddenly makes the machine a lot wider. And over here, with the water tank, you're going to need to grip the water tank. So you're going to need room here. You can't have this flush up against a wall because you wouldn't get your hand down it to grab them things. So in theory, it goes from 25 centimeters, I'd say, to you need a minimum of, say, around 50 centimeters. Almost doubles the size because of this and this. However, for me, I'll be honest, I don't use this, so that is always in. So that cuts down a little bit of space for me. And with this, I can't really get around it. I need the room for my hand in there for the water tank. So for you, it might be a little bit wider than it needs to be, but for me, it's still a thin machine. Okay, while we're on about the water tank then, I absolutely love this. Let me get this lined up. Look, so when you're facing the machine, the water tank sits out at the back, so it dips in at the side there. So it dips in, so you can see from the front how much water you have. You don't need to keep peering around the back. So you're at the front, look, and you can see that I've got that much water in it, so you can tell how much water. I absolutely love that about this machine, that you can just see how much water is from the front. And the water tank itself is blooming huge. So 1.6 litres full, that's right up there. 1.6 litres this does. I'm changing this less than once a day if I'm just having Nespresso. And then if I have a carafe, I'll be honest with you, if I have a carafe every time, I do fill up to the 1.6, which is fine. You can get a huge amount of coffee out of here. And look, as well, another thing I really appreciate in the tank is this bit here. So it's like a grip. So you can put it in and out of the machine so easily because of that grip. You don't need to be clawing it from the top or anything like that. It just really easy. It's a fantastic water tank, this. Right, let's move on to the front here with the control panel. A couple of really nice things about this. For starters, it has a clock. Not many machines, and certainly not my other machine, it didn't have a clock in it. Brilliant, love that. And also this as well. So we've got the power here. That's what we choose when you choose carafe, you select that, or if you're choosing Nespresso, you select that. And then you have your warming plate button, your delay, which I'm going to talk about later. This knob here is really nice, and it has a little bit of haptic feedback to it. That's good. And then we have hour, minute, that's for the setting the clock. Ooh, there we go. Oh, there we go. And then we have the clean function as well, which I'm not going to press. Now I've got it on here. We can see on the front here, we have for the carafe, we can have classic, rich, or over ice. And over here for the Nespresso, we have ristretto, espresso, lungo, or over ice. Again, going to be talking about these later on when we do the individual things here. But in terms of the control panel, it's spot on, nice, clear, has the time, nice build quality of the buttons. And another really underrated feature, which I've not had on another few of my machines, is that it's an auto off. So it turns off after automatically. I can't remember how long it takes, a couple of minutes, but it turns off itself. That's a brilliant. Another bonus of this is dishwasher safe. So everything that comes off, so this, I've had this all through the dishwasher. The top carafe, this can go in the dishwasher. All of this can go in the dishwasher. Brilliant. Basically everything you can pull off, everything that touches coffee, I'd say, can go in the dishwasher and it comes out mint. Brilliant. And one final thing, as we've talked about with this is probably, I don't know whether this will be a pro or a con for you, but the steam one, it doesn't heat the milk, okay? All it does is that. It just spins that. That's all it does. And it froths the milk. It does give you some kind of indication. So you get some milk there for 30 seconds in the microwave and froth for 10 minutes, which we'll do in a second. But if you want it to heat up the milk, it doesn't do that. For me, I'm not bothered. But for you, that might be an issue. Okay, so let's crack on with this then. So let's pick one of these. Let's pick thick, macchiato thick. So we need 60 mils of milk. We're going to put it in the microwave for 30 seconds and then we're going to froth it for 10 seconds, all right? So I'm going to put 60 mils of milk in here. There's my 60 mils of milk. I'm going to go and heat this up for 30 seconds in the microwave now. That's heated up. Now let's whack this in for, what did it say? For 10 seconds, all right? Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hey, do you know what? That ain't bad actually. That is better than what I've been getting. Okay, there we go. There's a sweet spot. 30 seconds in the microwave with 60 mils of water over 10 seconds. Pour it on the coffee. Actually, that's quite good. That's better than what I've been getting. And as you'll see there, this is all now milky. So you just unscrew it. And again, this can go in the dishwasher. I'm just going to give it a bit of a rinse. And then plunk it back on there. Away you go. And that's the steamer done. Right, let's talk about the Nespresso side. That's this half of the machine here. Plenty to love about this, there really is. I think there's just probably one negative I don't really like about it. Oh no, there's two. There's two things that I'm not too sure about, but most of it is positive. Right, so to turn it on, you click that. And then if you look on here, we have 4 settings, which we saw before. And the way you choose them is you just press this in. So we have espresso, lungo, over ice, or ristretto. Ristretto, I think, was about 30 mils. The espresso is 40 mils and the lungo is 110. You haven't got anything in between 110 and 40. I've just been putting it on lungo because I just wanted more coffee in there. The 40 wasn't enough for me when I'm having it in my mug, I'm topping up with hot water. That's entirely up to you. So here, this is where your drip tray is. And now this is an absolute win for me. So we have the adjustable tray, so you can put that higher if you want to. So like there, you can put that in there if you want to, which we'll be doing in a bit. But it's this, I think, is fantastic because it separates, right? Now, I've been using this for a few days on purpose. I haven't cleaned it. So you've got your Nespresso pods and you can get 17 in here before you think about trying to change that. 17, and it's got a hole in the bottom. So all the coffee drips out into here, right? So look, can you see that? There's all that coffee in there. So now I can go and pour this away, like so. I will be going to give that a clean. And then I can just dump these in the bin. Our last machine and a couple of other machines have it all built in as one. So you kind of have to put your hand over, strain it out, get dirty hands. It was disgusting. I hated it. And this solves that. It doesn't do that. You'd be surprised at the amount of machines that actually don't do that. Right. Pop that in. Let's pop that in there like that. Put that on there. The drip tray is nice. It has these rubber feet on here. If I can show you. Like that. These rubber feet here mean that when you stick a glass on it, it really sticks well. So that ain't gonna move. But to measure it, it's about 8 centimetres by about 8 centimetres, so 8 centimetres round. If you've got anything bigger than that, it ain't gonna fit on, sadly. Although it's perfect for just like my Ember mug there. And this espresso shot glass. Perfect for that. Here's my first negative, really. So this is where you put your Nespresso pods in. So let me go and grab one. I have my wonky pods. If I pop it in, right, like that, okay, when I pull this down, it's a bit clunky. You have to kind of, it's not smooth. Like I'm really having to press that now. And to get it in, you almost have to like force it in. It just feels a little bit clunky for me. If I show you from up here, it's like a funny angle, and then you have to really force it down to get it in. It's been okay. It just feels a little bit clunky as you do it. Right, so that's in. We've got plenty of water in there, so that's not an issue. And then we're going to pull an espresso. I do want to talk about one thing as well I don't really like, is if you pull an espresso and it's got no water in here, it says add water, then it kind of like falls over. You think adding water and then pressing that again would start it up. It hasn't. The 2 times I've actually run it dry, I've had to completely pull the lever up and start again with the same pod, admittedly, but I've had to start the whole brewing process again for it to come out. It didn't seem to like it that it added water, so that's my advice. Don't run out of water, but if you do, just pop the lid and start it up again. Okay, so let's pour an espresso, and I want to point out, I have not used this I haven't used this today, and it's nearly midday. So for good 16 hours, I haven't used this machine. So it's nice and cold. And I want to show you the speed of it warming up. Okay, so we're going to get a clock here and show how quickly this heats up. Spoiler alert, it's brilliant, right? So let's select espresso and then start it. And then as soon as we start it, we can start our clock, right? So start brew. Let's go. Look at that. There we go. Not even 10 seconds from cold to heating up and brewing. That is an absolute positive for me. How quickly this preheats and starts firing out your shot. 10 seconds. There we go. Let's take a look at it. So it says, what did it say, 40 mils? It's not. It's about 32, I'd say. 40 mils with a chroma on top. But look at that. So this is another positive I've got of this machine. The Nespressos are coming out very well, and I mean very well. I haven't had a complaint on any of them. It's never failed a pod yet, and I've put dozens and dozens and dozens through this. It hasn't failed yet. Look at that. Admittedly, it depends on kind of what pods you're going to put in. Good quality pods. I get mine from Wonky Coffee, and they're brilliant. I get 100 every 4 weeks. There, let's have a taste. Yeah, certainly. It's certainly hot enough. I haven't tested how hot it is. I may do some more tests on that later, but as far as Nespresso goes, it's brilliant. Right, there's one more thing I want to show you. I'm not going to put a Nespresso pod in here because I don't want to waste it. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to run some water through it because I want to show you something as well that I really like about this. So let's choose espresso again, and we're going to hit start brew, right? Now look at this here. These dots here are a progress indicator of how far we've got along the process of brewing it. I don't know if you can see that, but that third one is flashing. Now the fourth one is flashing. Fifth one, and so forth and so forth. So you can see, there you go, I'm about halfway now to go through there. This progress indicator is brilliant. More useful for the craft, admittedly, but it's still love it for the Nespresso pods as well. So there we go, got 2, 3, 2, 1. We're on the last bit, and then this is another thing. Listen. Three beeps to tell you it's finished. It's such a small thing, this progress indicator and the beeps, but it's so useful. My last machine didn't do it, so I didn't know, oh God, had I pressed it? I can't remember. But then when you're nearby and you hear the 3 beeps, you know that your espresso is ready to go. Such an underrated feature. It's what I really love about this machine. It's the little things. Right, so once you're done, you lift that up. That drops into there, into your thing, and then you're just going to empty it out. Well, it's full up, but you can, as I say, you can fit 17 in there. Brilliant. Right, so as far as, if it was just an espresso machine, I'd be happy with that. But now we're going to flip over, and we've also got this, the carafe, the drip coffee side. Right, so this side is all about your carafe, your drip coffee. You put your coffee in there and it drips through there. So you turn it on by that and you've got rich, over ice, or classic. I've just always had it on classic. And one of the really nice small touches on this, you get 10 free filters. So as soon as I got it, I was able to start pouring this and making coffee out of it. I went and got and bought 100 filters off Amazon. I mean, dead cheap. It's about $5 for 100. So, things to note for this is this bit here. Boonk. This is your spoon measurer. Now, you're going to need to do this yourself. You're going to need to, for your intensity and how strong you like your coffee, work it out yourself. But generally, I have 2 of these for a couple of mugs worth, and I have 4 level ones for a full carafe. Now, you might like it stronger, you might like it weaker. I don't know. My coffee here, I've got some coffee in here in the Tupperware that I've roasted myself, and that I use 4 level spoonfuls, of which to do in a second. Then spinning it over, and you can have a choice. You can have your carafe, or you can have your mug under there. It depends on how much coffee you've put in, how much water. And you have this brilliant flap as well. Bonk, like that. So you fold that down, and you can just put your mug under it if you just want drip coffee, because here is where you select what size you want. You can have like half a mug, a full mug, 355 mils, 450 mils is like a travel mug, half a carafe or full carafe, right? So you have a choice of 190 mils, 235 mils, 295 mils, 355 mils, 455 mils, 560, 830, 1.1 litre, 1.4 and 1.6 litre. Phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal, your range of choice there. If I'm brewing it up for the weekend, like on a Sunday morning, I'll have this wake me up with 1.6 litres of coffee, which is another brilliant thing because you can set a delay. So you press that, and then this, you set the time. This isn't a delay timer. That's kind of a little bit confusing. When I first did it, I thought, I'll have it on for 5.5 hours. In 5.5 hours time. It's not. That means it will start off at 5:30, okay? In the morning. So you set that, whatever time you want to get up, it will be ready for that time. So now you're going to want to put your coffee, I've got my coffee that I've roasted, you're going to want to put it in the top using your scoop. So grab your filter, your size 2 with your flat bottom, put it into your machine like that. You can pre-wet this if you like. My machine is already pretty wet because I gave it a bit of a clean earlier. Just give it a bit of a rinse out there. The other ones I've got are not bleached either, so that's nice. And then what we're going to do is going to put 4 level spoonfuls. I've tried 7. That was too many because it would fill over the top of the paper. So 4 for me. 1, 2, 3, 4. Put your spoon back on there. And then if we look there, so that's 4 heaped spoonfuls. And I'll show you at the end once we've brewed it, it still does come over the top a little bit. So 7, when I did 7, it just went everywhere and it was a nightmare. So close that up. Make sure our carafe is nice and clean and underneath there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to time this. See how long it takes. So we're going to take classic and we're going to go all the way up to 1.6 litres. So just make sure we've got 1.6 litres of water. Okay, if you look in here, there we go. So I've got just over 1.4, so I need to fill up. You see the line there? My advice is just go a bit above the line because you don't want it to run out of water. So let's put the water in. There you go, so I'm just a bit above, right? So that just means that when the machine goes, it won't say run out of water. Right, now we can put this back on here. Like so. Classic 1.6, got my clock. And then all we're left to do is to press to start brew. And you'll hear the machine start whirring straight away. There we go. Can you hear it going? There you go. It's already started. There we go. Coffee has started to pour through at 26 seconds. All right, so now let's leave it. See how long it takes to get up to the 1.6 litres. Well, let me just stop you there. So we're going 2.5 minutes. I just want my coffee now, please. I can't be bothered to wait for it all to fill up. I just want to fill up a mug while I'm waiting. You can do that. You see this lever here? There's an open and a closed. If you flick that over, it stops the drip. And now you can pull this out, fill up a bit of coffee. Thank you very much. Put it back. Open it, and it carries on with your coffee. So now, halfway through, you can have a coffee. Another brilliant feature of this thing, mid-carafe stopping it. I'm not sure, I haven't noticed any issues with stopping it. I just think that's a brilliant feature. I love it. So now I can go and have a bit of a coffee and wait for the carafe to fill up. There's your 3 beeps to finish ending. There you go. Well, 9 minutes-ish. I mean, we did stop it for about 10 seconds or so. And I reckon for the last 2 minutes, it's just been dripping. Okay, there's a couple of things I want to note now. Let's get down here because... So it's just finished, okay? So it's literally just finished. If I pull this away, it's still dripping. Okay, this lasts a good couple of minutes for it to drip coffee, okay? So if you take that off, you kind of need to get a cloth like that. That's a bit of a pain, so you need to leave that for a while. But I'll be honest with you, I don't really care. Go there, do your coffee, give it a bit of a wipe and stick it back. I've not had a problem. Right, this light here, this is your warming plate. This means this bit here, so this whole circle bit here is warming up. Now this is kind of a negative because it only stays hot for 40 minutes, okay? 40 minutes, which is a bit of a pain. That's not really long enough to drink 1.6 litres of coffee. However, here's your button here, your warming button. So if I press that now and turned it off, if I press it again, that's just gonna warm up for another 40 minutes. Okay, so you could get to 40 minutes and it turns off automatically. You think, oh no, I'm gonna get coffee. No, just walk up to it and press it again. It's a bit of a pain, but it still gets around the 40-minute limit. So that's your craft coffee. 4 level spoonfuls of the big spoonful for I'd say it's about a medium roast, I'd say. It's neither light nor dark, and that's perfect for me. You'll need to test that for yourself to get the ideal coffee for you. Right, now what we're gonna look is, I want to show you in here. So this is where it's finished, okay? Look at that, look how high that is on there. I think much more than 4, that's gonna spill over. But look at that, and as you can tell, it's nice and hot. The temperature of the coffee is fantastic. Spot on. And then, what you can do is pull that out, chuck it in the bin or chuck it in the compost, whichever one you do, and start again. Right, so that was it then. That was my look at this, the Ninja Prestige Dualbrew system. For me, I thought this was going to be okay. I thought it was going to be a good machine. Really pleased. I didn't think it was going to be this good. The quality of coffee really does depend on what you put in, okay? I've never had a problem with any of my Nespressos, and I know I'm putting good coffee in here, so I know I'm going to get good carafe out of that. Stuff off the supermarket shelves, I haven't really tested. I probably think it won't be very nice, but it's up to you. Go and have a look. Go and have a look online at some nice stuff. Wonky Coffee do some really nice Nespresso pods, and you could buy some other craft kind of coffee for your machine. But in terms of functions, I think it's absolutely phenomenal machine. So in the week we have Nespresso. The weekend we treat ourselves to a carafe on a Saturday and a Sunday. I can't speak highly enough of this machine. I think they have absolutely nailed it for a convenient Nespresso carafe machine. You really can't go wrong with this at £250. I absolutely love it. I think it's brilliant. I'll leave links down below where you can get it. It's off the Ninja website. Try and get it in the Black Friday sale because it's really cheap. It's an absolute bargain for 220 quid. I missed out. Gutted. Never mind. It's still worth it for the 250. So I hope you like that then. I'm sorry I've been gushing quite a lot over this machine, but I really do like it. I think it's phenomenal. I'm really, really pleased with it. So I'd really appreciate if you like, subscribe and share about this video. And if you've got any other questions about the machine, let me know, any tips or anything like that. I think I've run through as much as I can of information on it, and I hope you appreciate that. I really do. Right, please do like, please do subscribe, please do share. Until the next video.